Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Ten of Vessels and Happiness. And when I was thinking about this card today, I was like, wow, we are like on this roller coaster of emotions since we come out of the world tree, right? But that was the thought. And as I continued to think about that, it was, yesterday we did want to be in this apathetic state of boredom, right? And today is a reminder with the Ten of Vessels that even though yesterday was, we didn't want to be in that bored state, today we've kind of taken, we took that step back, and now we can look at our lives and say, what do we have in our life? And just being grateful for what we do have. Grateful for having, a house. Grateful for having, a vehicle. Grateful for having, food on the table. A lot of people don't have those things, right? And, even those that do have, maybe a lesser amount than what you have, I can guarantee you they're grateful for having a roof over their head, a little bit of something to eat, something to drink, right? We may have it good, but there are others out there that may not have it as good as you do, okay? And just being grateful for a job, even if it's one you don't like, guess what? That money is paying the bills, right? That money is still going into your bank account, right? Part of that is, maybe you're getting medical coverage out of it. Grateful for the medical coverage, because without medical coverage right now, you get hurt, things are going to suck, right? So, be grateful for what you do have. Being grateful for able to get outside, go for a walk, without having, to dodge bullets or anything like that, right? Because, there are some countries that for years have been at war, right? Being grateful for just, like I said, going out for that walk, enjoying the weather. It's been rainy and cloudy and cool here, but you know what? I'm grateful every day that I get out of bed, right? I'm grateful every day that I can go out there and serve the community, right? And, those are just a couple examples that I have, and when you can show that gratefulness, right, within yourself and see what you have, it does turn into a little bit of happiness. They say happy, I remember a friend of mine, colleague, he always said, happiness is where I can lay my head at night. And, granted, he was in a, not a nice house. It was nice to his standards compared to what his parents lived in, but at the same time, he was just like, you know what? I'm happy for, who I'm with. I'm happy for the family I have. And, I don't sweat the small stuff. And he, as we continue to talk through our careers, very grateful, down to earth, grounded person, and he had his own issues, but at the same time, it was like, hey, I'm still going to go out there and do what I have to do to, to earn a paycheck, and, I understand that. And a lot of us have that attitude, got to go out there, make ends meet, do what I need to do. All right. When you can sit back and look at it and say, you know what? I'm letting all the water flow away from me in this four of vessels. In this one, there's so many vessels down there. There's 10 of them. And they're all overfilled. There's so much abundance coming down out of that river or out of that pool that it's just overfilling every cup. It's overflowing you. If you think of yourself as that vessel, right? And, I want to use a Christian term. They say, if you are that pure vessel, right, and everything's flowing into you, you can't take everything in. You're not going to be able to gather it in. But he gives you just enough for you to survive on. Okay? Whether that's food, whether that's security, whether that's, family, however you want to look at it. Every challenge that's out there, okay, helps you out, helps you grow. And when you can turn back and look at the last 2 weeks, you can say, you know what? I survived that. You can be grateful of that aspect because, you know what? I've survived those challenges. I survived those obstacles. For 90 days, I was on this journey before I walked through the world tree. And I had challenges. I went through creative challenges. I went through emotional challenges, financial challenges. And look where I'm at now. I mean, think about it. We are in the month of May, getting ready to turn into the month of June. 5 months have already gone by. I'm grateful for every day. I'm grateful for every month. Where were you 5 months ago when you started this journey? Right? Where were you a year ago? 5 years ago? 10 years ago? When you can look back on the past, all right, you can't change it for number one. And whatever happens is you should learn from it and gain some knowledge and wisdom from it, to help you out in the future. Don't keep making those same mistakes because that's what the spiritual path is all about. The spiritual path that you're on is going to be different than the one that your neighbor's on or the person at work is on. Because each one's individualistic. Each one's genuine. Okay? But the knowledge and the wisdom that you gain on your path, on your journey, is one of learning. Is learning to let go of the past. Is learning to look at what's going on now. It's talking with your guides, creating that I want to say communion, but that bond with your guides, with the universe, opening yourself up to spirit and saying, you know what? I just, you guide me. Guide me, as I'm moving forward. And when you give yourself to the universe and to your spirit guides, and you continue to move forward, sure, there's going to be some ups and downs. There's going to be days like yesterday where it's going to be boredom. You may have some challenges that are out there. But if you can have that even keel and your trajectory move up and up every day, guess what? There are going to be days where you can sit back and say, wow, the weather's perfect. I got beautiful people around me. I'm surrounded by like-minded people, beautiful family. Look at this house. It's awesome. I'm so glad I got this car. The job's not so bad. I got great coworkers, that I talk with and I work with. That's the happiness piece of it. When you can look back and be grateful for where you're at in life. And as you move forward and you continue to show that gratefulness, guess what's going to happen? Your cup's going to be filled, and you're going to be washed, okay, in this happiness, in these emotions, and you're just going to look at it and going, why? It's because you've asked for it. You've asked for this to come into your life, this happiness, and it's here. So enjoy it. So that's the card of the day, the Ten of Vessels and Happiness. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share it with others. Check out my stand store down below if you'd like a reading. And this is D for the Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, God bless, and stay safe, everybody.